Hello and welcome. This is a lesson on how to solve word problems. We're going to do 4 word problems that get harder and harder as we go. When you're doing this, I would take notes, and if one word problem you can do already, you can solve it on your own. I would just fast forward it to the next one. So let's start with the first one. Jimmy bought snacks at a baseball game. He bought 3 hot dogs and a bag of chips. If the chips cost $2 and he spent $9.50 in total, how much do the hot dogs cost? So what I like to do is I like to organize my work first by writing down the facts that I know. So I know he has 3 hot dogs. And because it said a bag of chips, I know he has 1 chips. If the chips cost $2 each, I know that he spends $2 on the chips, right? And then they tell me that the total spent was $9.50. Now, total is a pretty big word. It means that all together, right? When we see that word total, that gives us a clue, right? That gives us a clue that we're going to have an equal sign, and at the end of the equal sign is this number, 950. So now what we have to do is figure out what is our x and what goes on the left side of this equal sign. Well, you see here at the end of the question, they say, how much do the hot dogs cost? Which means we don't know how much the hot dogs cost. So whatever we don't know is our unknown, and that is automatically our x. So for 3 hot dogs that cost x dollars and 1 bag of chips that cost $2, we spend a total of $9.50. So we have to make this into an algebraic equation. So we know that when you buy something, right, you add together, right? Because you're buying chips, which cost $2 on their own, and you only bought 1 bag, so we can just write 2. Now, if we have 3 hot dogs that cost x dollars each, that means that we're multiplying 3 by x. Why is that? Because if each thing costs x and we have 3 of them together, we can simplify that by writing it like this, 3x. All right, combining like terms, so we get 3x. Okay, from this point here, we use our algebraic skills. So we're going to subtract 2 on both sides. And I'm going to continue writing over here and then erase it when I'm finished. 750 is what we get. And we have 3x equals 750. We're then going to divide on both sides by 3 because that's the inverse operation of multiplying by 3. And we're left with x equals, 3 goes into 7 2 times. So I'm doing this in my head. I should show you what I'm doing step by step. You can use your calculator, of course, but 3 times 2 is 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. Bring down the 5. 3 goes into 5 times. So it costs $2.50 per hot dog. Now, to be precise, this is good so far, right? I'm showing my understanding, I'm showing my work, but to be truly precise, the best thing to do is to check your work. So if we have 3 hot dogs and they cost $2.50 each, and then we buy 2 bags of chips, does that really equal $9.50? Let's find out. So 3 times 5 is 15, carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. Plus 2, $9.50. It checks out. So the answer is 2.5. Okay. Next one, number 2. The sum of 3 consecutive numbers is 39. What is the larger number? Now this is hard, right? Because there's some major concepts here. So consecutive means one after the other. This word right here means one after the other. So how to do that? And so the sum means if we add them, right? So if we add one number after the other, the sum of the 3 numbers is 39. So this is something you should get in the habit of solving, is consecutive problems, because they ask them a lot. So the idea here is that you start with a number. Like let's do it with a regular number first. You start with 1. What's the next number after that? 2. And it's right after. That's why it's consecutive. And then 3. Okay, so these are numbers, and they're consecutive. 1, 2, and 3. Because 2 follows 1, and 3 follows 2. Now, if I would to use x, because we don't know what these numbers are, right? So if I would to use x, would I put it at the first number or the second number or the last number? I put it in the beginning. I say, okay, x is going to be my first number. All right, my next number is going to be x plus 1. Whoa, how did I get that? Well, look, if our first number is x and consecutive means 1 after, doesn't it make sense that it's plus 1? Doesn't plus 1 mean 1 after? Okay, then we look at the third one. Well, if we started with x and I added 1, right, to get to the second number, now I have to add another 1 to get to my third number. But we can simplify this, right, to x plus 2. Now, if you're confused, stop the video, rewind, watch it again, and see if you understand. And if you're still confused, let me know. I'll make another video on just consecutive numbers. I do want to point out there's another consecutive number question on for number 4. So we are going to hit it again. But these kind of questions show up, if not on the Regents, they'll definitely be on your SAT, which is an important test that you should also be getting ready to take. So let's get back. So I now know that I have 3 consecutive numbers, and I now know that I can represent 3 consecutive numbers like this: x plus 1, x plus 2, and x. Now they say the sum, that means I'm going to have to add them. Is equal to 39. My next step is to simplify. How many x's do I have? I have 3 x's. I'm combining like terms here, right? How many numbers do I have? I have 1 plus 2, which is 3, and equals 39. And from this point on, I just follow my rules, right? I subtract 3 on both sides. So I get 3x equals 39. I divide by 3. And I get x equals 1, and 9 divided by 3 is just 3. So x equals 13. All right, not done, right? I have to check this. So I'm going to check it. So if x equals 13, then my next consecutive number is 14. And then my next consecutive number is 15. Let's see if this adds up to 39. 13 plus 14 is 27. Well, that didn't work.